Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's WrestleMania Monday, and that means we got the Wrestling Inc. crew ready to chat all about it, but it's a different crew than normal, much like Monday Night Raw. We've got some special guest stars showing up and being a part of the show. With us here, Jimmy Korderas and the Demon Diva herself, Issa. You guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's WrestleMania week. Come on.
Yeah, you know, I know the cliche, it's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, but it truly is. It's a week-long event, and boy, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, speaking of a lot going on, I'm the one controlling the ship tonight, so things might not go super smoothly. If it doesn't work out smoothly, that's okay. It'll be fine. We'll figure it all out. But Jimmy, before we got on the air, you pointed something out to me, and I want to point it out to you. I want to point it out to our viewers and our listeners. And then I have a question for you. You've got some memorabilia behind you. You got a turnbuckle pad and a hat there from WrestleMania 6, looking good. I got a question for you, and I told you I was going to ask you on the air.
Yeah.
Did a lot of folks try to free some products from WWE when they were at shows like WrestleMania? Is it kind of a feeding frenzy after the show?
Not really a feeding frenzy. I mean, there are, I don't know how many people would think about grabbing a turnbuckle pad like I did from 6, but being on the ring crew, because I was out there, you know, and we have spare rope under the ring and that's loaded with extra turnbuckle pads and stuff like that. So I figured, you know what? You only need 12 on the show. We've got 16 out there. I think 1 is okay. And we could always replace that a little later, but you know, everybody's always looking for a little something. I just thought a turnbuckle pad would be different.
Yeah, I would be shamelessly trying to fill things up. They'd be like, Jack, how come you always show up with a giant trench coat at the end of every show? And I'd fill it like a cartoon, just filling it with everything I could take. Issa, I haven't chatted with you in so long. How have you been? And this is it. This is WrestleMania. Are you pumped? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm going to be out in Dallas, so you know that I can't wait. It's going to be a fun week. I look forward to it every year. I know, like Jimmy said, it's a cliche, but you just cannot help but to get excited for WrestleMania. It just feels like such a huge event. And of course, I have Roman and Brock on Raw tonight, so who can complain?
You're going to be in Dallas. When are you? I got to tell you, I am using some makeshift recording equipment because mine's all packed up, Issa. I'm going to be in Dallas. I'm flying out tomorrow a.m.
I fly out, well, I had to make a quick stop in New York, so I need to see my nail guy and my lash girl, and then I'll be in Dallas on Thursday. So I fly to New York tomorrow and then to Dallas on Thursday.
Jimmy, get a load of Issa. She's like, I'm flying to New York to get my nails done before flying out to Dallas.
Listen, that's how good my nail guy is, okay? That's how good he is.
Yeah, well, at least you have nails. For me, it's like, you know, it's comb it with a sponge and go. But, you know, I'm good.
Yeah, us guys, I just if I find something sharp and I just kind of shave them down, I guess. No, I use clippers. But in any case, this is a big week. This was a big show. But before we get into the show, I want to chat about something that happened last week. I'm not sure if the Wrestling Inc. crew had a chance to talk about it, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it because I don't get to talk with you very much. And Jimmy, I want to start with you. We got some very unfortunate news last week. Triple H making it official. He will not be back in the ring. And it sounds like maybe health-wise that's what's best. But it's sad that the game's not coming back. He's someone who's always been in such great shape. I feel like he always assumed he was going to have one more in him at least. One of my top 5, I call him top 5. I think he's one of the best to do it. Any thoughts on Triple H and it being sort of officially done for him in the ring?
Yeah, I feel bad on that end. From the in-ring standpoint, I feel bad that he won't have a chance to, you know, maybe he's happy with the way he went out, but, you know, he was so good. He could always do that one last thank you so much to everybody, goodbye song. But at the same time, he also realizes that, surprisingly, that this health thing was actually very scary. And the fact that he came out of this okay, as you know, knock on wood, that he continues to get healthy and stronger. And you know what? It's funny because those in the business kind of, when you have this love and passion for the business, you almost give up everything for it. And the one thing you don't want to give up is what he almost gave up unknowingly. And then you realize that's when it hits you that family comes first. And, God bless him. And like I said, he helped me a lot through my career, helped me with some coaching and assistance and guidance and stuff like that. And, I thank him for helping me along. And I just pray that he continues to get better and healthy for him and his family and his daughters.
100%. You never know what's going to happen when it comes to health things. And so, you definitely got to put that first, family first. Issa, I want to get your thoughts on Triple H real quick. Like I said, top 5 for me. He's one of those guys that, I mean, you can even put aside everything he's done backstage and everything else, but even just as a fan and like what he's accomplished in the ring, one of the all-time greats. Any words on Triple H?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, top 5. I think Triple H is incredible. And I'm going to take the approach of smiling because it happened, the career that this man had and everything that he was able to accomplish, the moments that he gave us, those epic entrances. I mean, there's nobody that's going to do it like the game did, right? But to that note, that story that he told was so scary. I know they were very conservative about sharing, what was going on, but hearing from his own mouth just how bad it really got and how close we were to maybe losing him, forever. So I'm just excited that we did get the moments that he was able to provide to us. And there's a big archive of matches to go back and watch. If you miss him, let the man get healthy, let the man get better. But Triple H, incredible career.
Thank you, Triple H, for everything you did. Of course, get well soon. I'm sure he's got stuff lined up to work on and do. But he'll be able to share some time with the family. In the chat, we've got Jerry D12345 popping up. Hey, I'm getting the hang of this thing. Says great host lineup tonight. Podcast dream team.
Thank you, Jerry.
I appreciate you. You hear that, Raj? I don't know.
Yeah, Justin, keep pointing at that WrestleMania sign there in Pittsburgh.
And then Sexy Pheasant says, who are you slapping, Chris Rock or The Rock? Issa, I'll let you answer that one.
Nobody on national television, that's for sure.
Yeah, not swinging at either of them on national TV, but KCJ in the chat, if I can brag for a little bit, Jack Farmer, double duty. I'm watching WWE Evil on TV and Wrestling Inc. Raw on my tablet. That's right. I'm the Rick Rude, baby. I'm on 2 shows at once. So check that out.
So amazing, Jack. How do you do it? Cool. How do you do it? Give us your secrets.
Just hanging around until someone puts you on TV.
Kayfabe brother.
So let's talk about something else that I think is really big and really important, and something that was announced just today, I believe. The Steiner Brothers are going to get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. WWE has officially announced that the Steiner Brothers will be going into the 2022 Hall of Fame class, as was first reported by The Ringer on The Masked Man, Dave Shoemaker. Rick and Scott Steiner will be getting inducted this Friday at the annual event. It has not been announced who will be inducting them, but it's possible it could be WWE NXT star Braun Breaker, who is Rick Steiner's son. Issa, this one I think is a no-brainer. The Steiner Brothers going in, I think of them as just one of the greatest all time. But this needed to happen, right?
Agreed. It needed to happen, and I think Braun Breaker inducting them, it will make for a very special moment. This is already a super special Hall of Fame, given the fact that this is the class that The Undertaker is going to go in. So I'm very excited to see this happen. Well deserved, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Jimmy, I thought this was my favorite tag team of all time for a very long time. And I still love them to death. And I'm just glad they're going in. There were some doubts, though, with Scott Steiner not wanting to go in, I believe. I don't know all the details of that, but it sounded like there were some issues there. But hey, it's happening, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. And like you said, it was a no-brainer. They don't deserve to be in there. They earned their spot into the into any Hall of Fame you want to put him into, WWE, Wrestling Hall of Fame, the one in Vegas, whatever it is. And, you know, having the pleasure to getting to work with those guys is amazing. And what I loved most about him was they gave you great matches, whether it was a brawl, whether it was a technical wrestling match, whatever they can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
They were amazing, not only as a tag team, but they were also great as singles as well. You know, like I said, well-earned spot into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it. Any predictions from either of you? I'll let either of you take it on who could be inducting them. I think Braun Breaker has mentioned probably the favorite, but any spicy takes on who could be doing it?
Maybe one of their classic opponents from WCW, like maybe already in the Hall of Fame, Harlem Heat, Booker T.
Booker T would be a good one.
Well, yeah. But then again, Charmel's going in, right? So.
Oh yeah, he probably has to.
Yeah, he probably. Yeah, so that kind of squashes that.
Does the WWE have a good relationship with like the Dudley Boys or like Bubba Ray or someone like that? They're another great tag team. I don't know. You know.
Well, Bubba just did Stone Cold's podcast. That's going to be come out. Not podcast. The Stone Cold sessions for here in Canada, the network for Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Devon still is doing stuff with them. So that would be a good choice.
Why not? Let's do it. I don't know. Whoever it is. Issa, you picked, right? I gave you a chance to pick.
I'm gonna stick with Braun Breaker. I think what Jimmy threw out there is more than perfect. I would love to see Harlem Heat do it, but if not, Braun Breaker is good. Yeah,
Braun Breaker would be great. But let's get into the show. Before we do, though, I always like to give a shout out to everyone who's in the chat. Join us. Thank you to Tut Graff, Joseph Boza, Peter P, Anthony Y, DX Vex, Bernie DC, Gabriel Martinez, Tony Kanamea Karan. Let me know if I got that right. JT098, Michael Menzies, Matthew Tech, Alicia A, Michael the Virus, all of you, thank you so much for joining us live in the chat. If you are not live in the chat, if you are live, put something in the chat. If you're not live, that's cool too. Leave a comment, leave a 5-star review, hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And of course, Jax and Sergio and Edward and Chuck and everyone else. Thank you. So Andre, thank you guys so much. But let's get into the show. Let's chat about it. It started off great, and that is with Brock Lesnar coming out, and I love it. He said, welcome to Monday Night Raw. That felt good, but it felt like it sucked. Don't worry, I won't be doing that again. Issa, I know Brock is one of your guys, so I want to start with you. He says they're going down memory lane straight to Suplex City. I thought this was a fun, cute little promo. I thought it was exactly what you wanted to start the show like this.
Yeah, babyface Brock for the win. He has turned himself into such a likable character with his manners, the way he talks, the way he dresses. Even I'm here for the cowboy hat. Keep it forever. Keep the ponytail forever. I love this promo. I mean, I think later on, I didn't appreciate the promo as much because Roman did make it a point to where it was a little bit too cutesy for what is in stake at WrestleMania. So up until seeing Roman, I thought Brock did an amazing job. But, we'll get into the Roman segment later. But it's just incredible to watch Brock Lesnar go from somebody that a lot of fans didn't like to seeing so many people get behind him. And on top of that, you see so many people rooting for him now, which is absolutely incredible. I am so excited for this match.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's done an about face the way Brock has from the way people feel about him. And we'll talk about Roman in a second because I thought it was incredible what happened later. But Jimmy, I want to talk to you. I want your thoughts on this, but also I have no idea what happens backstage, but it felt a little bit, I can almost imagine Vince McMahon saying, you got to say, welcome to Monday Night Raw, have fun with it. And Brock was like, fine, I'll do it. And then he did it. I was like, yeah, it was kind of fun. Not my thing, but it was kind of fun. What do you think happened there? Or was that just a fun little bit? Or?
I think maybe a little bit along the lines of what you said, and Brock having fun with it, and Vince telling him to go out there, and you could tell that he is genuinely enjoying himself out there when he's on the microphone. Like before, it was back in the day, it felt like he was trying to force things because hey, they told me to say this, they told me to say that. Now it's like Cowboy Brock, go out there and have fun and be yourself, and we're getting Brock Lesnar and we're enjoying Brock Lesnar, and he's enjoying Brock Lesnar right now. And he's proving that all those years where they say, Brock Lesnar without a mouthpiece and stuff like that, he doesn't need one.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, he was great with Paul Heyman too, but like, I'm like, man, he was golden on his own all this time. What promos were missed knowing we could have had Brock Lesnar cutting these all this time? But we continue on. Speaking of promos, we got The Miz coming out with Lucha Logan versus Rey Mysterio. These are two guys, and Jimmy, I want to continue on with you here. I would say both Rey Mysterio and The Miz are two people that should be higher on people's all-time lists. I don't know where they're ranked for everyone, but they should probably be higher than what you have. I thought Lucha Logan looked good in the mask, and I thought it was very disrespectful of Rey to take it off of him.
Oh, I don't know about that. He's gaining back his property, technically, so to speak. But yeah, you're right about The Miz. The Miz is so, I don't want to say undervalued, because a lot of people have this preconceived notion about The Miz because, long story short, I was there the day he got all that heat for getting locked in, getting kicked out of the locker room. So I saw him grow from that day to what he has become now is a genuine, true heel in an industry where it's hard to be one now and get booed because people like heels. People want to, for some reason, are gravitating to cool heels and stuff like that. He's not being a cool heel. He's being a guy who doesn't want to be liked. And Rey Mysterio is just one of your all-time great baby faces of all time. So this is why this is working. And now we're going to see at WrestleMania, I believe the first time a father and son team teaming up at WrestleMania.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's the first time.
You know what? It sounds good. I say we go with it.
Okay, cool. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing their match at WrestleMania.
Issa, this ended with the Mysterios getting one up on The Miz and on Logan or on The Miz and Logan, Lucha Logan, I should say. Is this the kiss of death for these two? Usually when someone gets one over this big on their opponents right before a big show, it means that things aren't going to go their way.
I personally want for The Miz and Logan to win and see Dominic turn on Rey. I want to see that feud. So listen, call me evil, no pun intended, Jack. But that's what I would like to see the outcome out of this entire feud. I will say, I don't know if The Miz is supposed to make us like or dislike Logan Paul, but this is the first time I popped for Logan Paul. When he came out wearing the mask and they call him Lucha Logan, I was in tears. I thought it was excellently done, and it's probably the one time in this entire feud that I have care for Logan Paul. So I don't know what The Miz is trying to do here, but I was kind of behind them today.
I agree with you. I loved it. I thought it was great. I did actually, it felt a little bit like maybe this rivalry has gone like a week too long. Like I feel like it would have been nice if they could have had this could have been the blow off, but I think they did a good job of making it fun and entertaining and a great overall performance. We got some folks in the chat. Anthony Y with the question, and Jimmy, I'll let you answer. Hulk Hogan to induct the Steiners.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think the Steiners, since they're going in as a team, I think one of the great tag teams of all time should induct them. Maybe, well, I don't see an Edge and Christian now doing it, but I know even though Booker T and Stevie Ray, Booker is inducting Sharmell, why not double duty?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, he's a good talker. We could listen to him.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, we've been waiting a long time for the Steiners to go in, and someone else we've been waiting a long time for is Veer. Finally coming, going to be here next week. Jimmy, are you excited for Veer? What does he need to do to make this wait worth it?
I wish I had the answer, because if I had the answer, I'd be on the road as a producer or something like that. But anyway, I think too many people are focusing on the fact that we saw him. When was it? October? Is that when the draft was? Way back when? And too many people are focusing on that instead of saying, okay, come out and impress me. It's just, we've seen him already. If they could kind of like lay back and let's see what we got. Hopefully it's a little bit better. We're going to get to Omos in a bit, but hopefully it's a little bit better than what they're doing with Omos for me anyways.
Yeah. Issa, this is the last chance you'll have to make a joke about Veer not being here. Do you have anything you want to say before he's finally here, and we don't get to have these Veer's coming jokes?
You know what? I have a lot of respect that he's finally coming, and I will be popping a bottle of champagne at the RAW after Mania when he finally does come.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, we all will. We'll all be excited. I'm excited for him. Actually, you're right. I'm glad we can finally get past this, and hopefully, and to Jimmy's point, he just does some cool stuff and does some big things and has a good run, because it's got to be tough sitting on the sidelines, like waiting and seeing everyone tweeting and making jokes and things like that. And so it'll be nice for him to finally get out there and get a chance to prove that he was worth the wait. Speaking of worth the wait, Seth Rollins had quite the wait up until this week. And Seth Rollins goes to Vince McMahon's office, and he is just a maniac. I absolutely love this. I want to see Seth Rollins just doing normal day-to-day life things, going to meetings, going to the grocery store, living his life. I want to see him out in the real world. This was so entertaining.
It was an incredible 5.5 minutes segment. In the way that Vince handled it, it was just so priceless, because Seth was just so over the top about this whole thing. But you know what? I felt like he was representing the hype of WrestleMania week. That's how we all feel. Let him be excited. This is probably the worst kept secret if it ends up being what we all speculate it's going to be. So why not have some fun with it, since I'm pretty sure everybody knows that the entire wrestling world thinks it's going to be what we think it is, which is Cody Rhodes showing up. So you know what? Let them have some fun with it. I loved it. I was, as much as I love Seth's over-the-top performance, seeing Vince being so annoyed at him, it was priceless.
Yeah, Jimmy, it looked like Vince almost cracked at the very end. It looked like at the very end, it almost looked like he was about to crack a little bit. I'm loving this. Are you loving this, Seth Rollins?
I'm actually being entertained by this, Seth Rollins, and that's the thing here. You're supposed to get invested in the character and the person, and he's making me care. Unfortunately, as a heel, I'm not disliking him too much, because I am a little bit too entertained by him. But at the same time, watching him in the office with Vince McMahon, a more subdued Vince McMahon, not so much the Mr. McMahon character that we kind of see him brash and like says, you're fired and all that kind of stuff. But you're right. One of the hardest things to do in WWE is to get Vince to crack on camera. And like you said, Seth came this close to making it happen, and that probably would have got him more heat than anything.
Yeah, he was very close to it. Now, they announced this, I believe they showed this on social media before. And Jimmy, I want to get your thoughts on this as well. Is there a reason? Is there a reason they do it on social media? And when I say that, I don't mean like, why are they saving it, blah, 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 but more like, you have to appease certain people. Like, you have to do certain things on Fox because the Fox people need something. Is there something that I'm missing that is why they have to show this on social media, or is it just them saying, hey, let's throw this out there?
I think it was just a conscious decision to throw it out there on social media and cover that platform, because, like you said, a lot of the times stuff is better left for television to draw that audience in. But at the same time, putting it out there on social media probably got them a lot of hits. So I can see a little bit of both, because I see a lot of companies, not just WWE, everybody's kind of focused on social media right now. So I guess they're maybe testing the waters with it a little bit too, to see how much interest there is out there on social media with this.
I guess, and Issa, I'll let you get the final word on Seth Rollins here. I guess there is something to that. He did say he's not going to let Raw start until he gets an answer. So they had to let us know that there's an answer before Raw started, so we don't go, what? Seth Rollins?
Yeah, exactly. No, I thought they did the smart thing. And while we're on this subject, I just want to give a big shout out to Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, who have been building their feuds on their own. I mean, we know that Stone Cold answered, but he hasn't shown up. And we saw Kevin Owens come out and cut an incredible promo. Seth Rollins have been carrying this story on his back, and it's probably one of the matches that people are looking forward to the most, and he's just doing it on his own. And I just think that is so impressive from both Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins to just carry these matches that people really want to see on their back.
Which is so much harder than it sounds, to basically have a conversation with yourself and sell this show and this matchup, especially Rollins, who's been selling. Not only has he been doing these promos by himself, but he's essentially he doesn't have a partner. So it's not even like he can say who it is or say when they get here. It's just I'm doing something, but that's why he's so good. Now, Jimmy, I got to get your opinion on this next part because you called down the thunder on this one. You mentioned Omos. Omos has a match with the Viking Raiders, and this one was really quick. In fact, I looked down for a second, and I was like, "Oh, it's over." I kind of missed it, but then it looks like I don't know if someone got hurt. I don't really know what happened exactly. Obviously, he clotheslined him, and then it was over. But that match was quick, and now it looks like Bobby Lashley's coming back. Are you excited for this, or you're not a fan, or where you teased that you were none too happy with Omos?
No, in that match with the Viking Raiders, I just thought it was a no-win situation for everyone in that one because the Viking Raiders, how does Omos get past them winning without, damaging the Viking Raiders too much? And yes, I get the idea that a count-out finish would help ease that a little bit, but at the same time, it did nothing for Omos as well. I don't think it helped elevate him. Bobby coming out was very interesting. I'm not sure with his injury status. I thought I read somewhere that he has an issue.
Yeah, I was understanding he needed surgery on his shoulder or something.
Right. So, but he seems to be okay to go because they're saying that they're going at WrestleMania this Sunday. Or Saturday. I didn't quite catch which day, but if they do have that, who knows? Maybe that's where they do an angle that sets up the surgery that Bobby needs. And, like Omos is the guy who took him out.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. Issa, I was shocked, by how little Bobby Lashley looked during this, because Lashley is a big fella, but he looked like a child next to Omos. And I want to get your thoughts on that and the fact that crowd loved Bobby Lashley. They were all about it.
Listen, Bobby Lashley was positioned so well throughout the last year that he does deserve to be in WrestleMania. Do I want to see him against Omos? Not yet. There's something about Omos that's just still not clicking with me as a character. Yeah, you're big and you can throw guys around, but there's nothing that gets me invested. So my first thought was like, if you're going to give it to Lashley, I do hope that Lashley destroys him. I was very happy to see Lashley back. I think a victim of circumstances. But, if he still needs that surgery, I would have rather them keep the whole fact that Brock took him out, because that is a feud that I was actually invested in. And Lashley hasn't beaten Brock clean. You still have that one-on-one match that you can go back to later on. So I'd rather them keep that storyline, but I get it. It's WrestleMania. Everybody should be in the card. So we'll see where it goes. But Lashley did look small, which is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah. Jimmy, am I reading too far into it that he came out in tights and not in the suit?
Maybe that's to distance him from the heel that he was with MVP and coming out ready to fight, so to speak. But I didn't seem to mind it. I thought maybe it was leading to an impromptu match.
Yeah,
that's how I felt. That's, I guess, how my brain has trained me to think. But I'm thinking more it was along the lines of, "Hey, I'm here to fight."
I was wondering if that meant maybe he was going to be like a dark match after, which would mean he must be medically cleared. But I don't know. Maybe I think your point, maybe it's just to separate him from the Hurt Business vibe a little bit, or maybe he's just like, I don't want to ruin my suit, so I'm going to put these on.
Yeah,
and get
there you go.
Get my pants all sweaty.
Yeah, exactly.
Because his wrists weren't taped, so he wasn't at full power yet. You got to have the wrists taped. That's
right.
We're saving that for WrestleMania, Jack. Come on.
That's why he couldn't take him off his feet after the first two shoulder tackles.
Yeah, if he had his wrists taped, game over, Omos. That's where the power comes from. But I'm excited for that because I'm a huge Bobby Lashley fan.
Yeah.
And
how do you do it? This is where the power lies.
This is where instead of the Hogan, the power lies. Yeah. So we move on, and this was a totally different segment. And Jimmy, I'm going to get your take on this one because this is fun. Reggie proposed to Dana Brooke, and then Tozawa proposed to Tamina. We may have two weddings on our hand, Jimmy. Which couple do you like more?
The Tozawa Tamina couple obviously intrigues me a lot more right now because, look, this 24/7 thing is meant to be fun and comical and that sort of thing. So let's just sit back and enjoy it for what it is, as opposed to saying, why is this on my wrestling show? Somebody told me that the other day, and I'm like, just have some fun. Look, I'm going to sit back and hope that during this double wedding, we may get some double pinfalls or something going on. Just the the minister, whoever's conducting the ceremony, rips off his collar and underneath he's got a ref shirt on or something.
Yeah, this is to your point, Jimmy, and Issa, I want you to take it. When the 24/7 title has definitely had its ups and downs as far as how interesting it's been. This is totally silly and ridiculous, but it's fun, and it's only like 3 minutes a pop each week. I'm having fun with it. I'm actually kind of rooting for Akira Tozawa and Tamina. I call him the new Jim and Pam of TV. What team are you on? Which team are you backing?
I'm Team Reggie and Dana Brooke. This relationship started with alternative motives behind the title, and they ended up falling in love because of that. I think they have a more believable love story. But I will say there has to be a little bit of investment into this double wedding storyline, because they announced Roman Reigns up next before they went to commercial break. And that's what they opened that segment with before they went to commercial break. So I would assume they wanted people to see these proposals.
Look, we can all laugh and we can all joke, but weddings in wrestling are can't miss TV every single time. So I am very eager to see how this
classic.
Especially if we're going to get 2 weddings. It's going to be great. It's going to be an absolute disaster, especially if R-Truth gets involved. Now, one thing we talked about before going on the air, and I forgot to do it as we've been going through this, we were going to do some predictions along the way. So real quick, I want to start Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. Just real quick, Issa, who do you got winning that one at Mania?
I told you I want Logan Paul and the Miz to win, and the turn between Dominic and Ray to happen.
And Jimmy, who do you got?
You know what? You convinced me. So I love that scenario. I thought it was actually leading to a match that they would maybe break up before WrestleMania, and father versus son at WrestleMania would have been interesting. But I could see it happening, and I think Miz and Logan Paul come out ahead in this one.
Yeah, I want him to come out ahead too, and I want Dominic to do the same. I agree with you. I want Dominic to go to the other side of the tracks and be a ne'er-do-well, as we say. Right. And then we also had I guess Omos and Bobby Lashley. Jimmy, you start on that one. Who wins that one?
Yeah, I don't see Omos losing yet. I mean, he's really getting the big build up. The big guy just now knocked off his feet for the first time. I hate to see Bobby lose, but at the same time, this is maybe can solve 2 issues. Like I said before, if he does need that surgery, this may be a way to get him there.
And Issa, any predictions on that one?
I'm Team Almighty on this one. I'm rooting for Bobby Lashley.
I think it's going to be Bobby Lashley as well. And I think that win is going to get him a title shot afterwards. That's my prediction there. And then, am I forgetting one? We had another match. Am I missing one real quick? That we covered. Okay. Anyways, we'll just keep on going. Yeah. We'll just keep on going, because this is where things got really good. This is where things got spicy to me. We got a clad in raw red Roman Reigns, a bloodline, says he's gonna smash Brock, smash Austin, smash Pittsburgh, smash everyone. And he basically took everything Brock said earlier that was fun and cute and made it very serious and put stakes on the table. I'm having a feast. This was, take my money. I'm sold on WrestleMania. Issa, feel free to gush all over Roman Reigns here.
Listen, I sound like Max Caster right now. Listen, this man came to deliver. I knew it too. When he came out all dressed in red, I was like, oh, he's out for blood. Okay. So looking amazingly handsome in his red tracksuit, Roman Reigns handled the what chance. He was like, I'm going to smash everybody saying what. I'm screaming what, just in case he wants to smash. But the point to this is that he made that fun promo that opened the show that we all enjoyed, looked like a joke. And he took it back to their match at WrestleMania 34, which I greatly appreciate, because you have so many people saying, oh, we've seen these two wrestle. So why not bring in their history and talk about that? I remember Roman Reigns bleeding. Like, I'll never forget that crimson mask at WrestleMania 34. And he talked about how embarrassing that was. His kids were there watching that. I thought that it was great that he took it back, because Brock said it was a take a trip down memory lane and go to Suplex City. So Roman did the same thing, but he did it with a little bit more seriousness behind it. And he said, but for him, it's always been personal. I personally think this is one of the best promos that we've seen out of this feud. We've seen a lot of brawls, a lot of crazy things, but spoken promo, this was probably, he just hit a home run.
This is what I loved about this, Jimmy, is that Reigns literally said, I've never beaten Brock at WrestleMania, which made this feel like such a big deal. The Roman Reigns Evil is on right now. I got to speak on that one. And one of the things that I didn't get a chance to say is I look at Roman Reigns' title run, and one title run. And this is my new thing. I'm on this. This is what I'm very serious about. He's beaten Braun Strowman and The Fiend, who were huge at the time. He's beaten Hall of Famer Edge. He's beaten John Cena. He's beaten Daniel Bryan. He's beaten Kevin Owens. He's beaten John Cena. He's beaten Rey Mysterio. He's beaten so many absolute legends. And he
Drew McIntyre,
Drew McIntyre,
Big E. The list is incredible.
I think this is the greatest single title run ever. I mean, maybe before getting into like the stuff from the 70s and whatnot, but like this is when you look at the lineup of people he's beaten, it's incredible. If he beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I feel like it's almost undeniable at this point. This is like the best run that we can talk about in decades.
Absolutely. And if you want to preface it by saying in modern history, at least anyways, in the last, since the Attitude Era, or even before that, I mean, this Roman Reigns is firing on all 12 cylinders right now. This is a Roman Reigns that we didn't know existed a little over a year ago. And all of a sudden he has found his groove, and he has done something that, again, I mentioned it about the Miz, but it is more so with someone like Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is someone people want to like. Miz is somebody that people don't want to like. Roman Reigns is someone that people want to like, but he is getting them angry at him. Not just to dislike him. He's getting people angry, and that's hard to do. And the promo that he cut tonight was just, like you said, take my money. You talk about talking people into seats. That's exactly what he did tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit of a bump in that WrestleMania attendance this week. That's for sure.
This was one of those promos as well that it's, when you're not there and you're watching, you can be cynical and you can be like, oh, well, he has writers, whatever. No, he played off the crowd. Like there was 100% improving and playing with what was happening. And it was amazing the way he did it. It wasn't like, stop saying what, back on track. No, he like flipped the script, took it, and made it even better throughout this. It was, I was just blown away. Roman Reigns has been dominating for like a 1,000 years now. And I'm still like, this dude is the dude. I love Roman Reigns. I am all in on Roman Reigns.
I also loved how he brought down that he's breaking down Brock Lesnar little bits at a time. Stole Paul Heyman for him, stole his title from him. Like now he's gonna steal his title. He's gonna steal his glory. Like, I love the fact that he also broke down how much damage he's done to Brock without us like really even realizing it, which is incredible. He got Paul Heyman to turn on somebody that he's been with for the last 20 years. I mean, he was working some magic, and I just absolutely loved it. And we talked about. Brock is the record that Roman broke to become the longest reigning Universal Champion, but the resumes are so different, and when you look at that during that time, Brock wasn't here all the time. Roman is showing up every week. It's just being fun to watch. And not just because he's my favorite, it really has been a treat to watch.
Yeah. And as you touched on, Jack, the interaction with the audience, as opposed to, like, one of the biggest complaints right now, oh my goodness, scripted promos, stick to the script and stuff like that. When you feed off the audience and they feed off of you like he was, and interacting with them on the spot, on the fly, and you can tell stuff was coming out that wasn't quote unquote scripted. He's just like I said, he's on a different plane right now.
to challenge the audience, because it's so smart to say, don't what me, because they're going to what him more, but then to be able to say that and then use that more, just incredible. Now for the hard part though, Jimmy, who's winning, Brock or Reigns?
I would, since Brock is now living in Canada, I would like to say Brock, but I think Roman Reigns continues his reign, being not only the longest reigning Universal Champion, but now he's going to be the first ever unified, whatever they're going to call this championship. And I think it's a great choice. And who knows where it leads next year? Again, lots of rumors flying around, but for me, if it's Roman Reigns, take my money, please.
Yeah. Issa, I think I know the answer, but I got to ask, who's walking away WrestleMania with the, I guess, Universal WWE title?
I'm not going to make a choice yet. They're my two favorites, and I have to really think about this very deeply. It's Roman Reigns, okay? I think Roman Reigns wins there. I think Roman. I think I pick my side. They are exclusive. It's Roman Reigns. I'm rooting for Roman Reigns, and I will tell you one thing: that promo tonight sold me, and I have been very 50-50. That promo tonight was incredible.
I always say I've always been Brock Flock. I've always been the head broccoli. I got to go Roman Reigns. I got to go. I feel like he's the champ. It's like Tom Brady. He's the champ. You just better be comfortable with it because it's going to be forever. Just learn to love it. It's not going away. Even when it looks like it's going away, it's not going away. So I go Roman Reigns, and I want to see him break every record. Have him hold it forever. Why not?
Me too. Did we just become best friends?
We did. So we get a 8-person tag team match. Baszler, Natalya, Carmella, Zelina versus Sasha Banks, Naomi, and I didn't write down all the names.
Rhea Ripley, and Liv.
Oh, Rhea and Liv. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Jimmy, for bailing me out. I wrote Baszler, Natalya, Carmella, Zelina, and then I just wrote versus the good guys. I was like, I'll remember. So the story of the match, this was a classic pre-big show. Everyone gets in the ring and has a big kerfuffle or whatever we're going to call it. But he said the story here was that the bad guys didn't get along and they started arguing and it cost them the match. The villains can't work together. And specifically, Carmella left Zelina high and dry and Zelina got pinned again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's again, it was a story. They're facing each other in a 4-way on Sunday, but can these two teams coexist with these two teams? And it looked like the babyface team were able to coexist better than the heel team. And unfortunately, it didn't pique more interest in me for this match on Sunday, which is what the idea of the match is supposed to do. It was just there. I don't know. I hate to put it that way, but yeah, it did make me more looking forward to their match on this weekend.
Carmella and Zelina for a while now, so that's what we expect to happen. It didn't really make me more excited for it. I will say every time I see Sasha Banks and Naomi together, I'm just so behind them as a team, and I really hope that they win at WrestleMania. So I give you my prediction ahead of time. I really want to see Naomi and Sasha walk out of WrestleMania as the women's tag team champions.
Has Sasha Banks won at WrestleMania?
Oh,
no. I feel like every time I remember.
No. I don't think she has. I don't think
so.
That would be a kind of a big moment then if she was able to get the win there. What is it about Sasha Banks? So she's one of those people, much like there's a few of them. You're like, she's going to turn on Naomi. Come on, that's not going to go down well. But I guess who's going to turn on who first, Zelina or Carmella, or who knows? But this will be a fun match. There'll be a lot of craziness going on, and I don't know. It'll be a fun match. I'm glad they're all getting their WrestleMania moments. I definitely am looking forward to some other matches like Brock and Reigns, obviously. Yeah. But it'll be what it is. Jimmy, what's your prediction on this one for WrestleMania? Who walks away with the titles?
Oh man, I almost kind of pretty much feel like it's going to be Liv and Rhea. But then again, at times I look at them and I think that maybe that team is ready for a split up as well. So it's kind of hard. The team I would like to see is Shayna Baszler and Natalya.
That's who my pick is. That's who I think is going to win it. I think those two, Baszler and Natalya, the Queen of Spades and the Queen of Hearts. Issa, though, you've already called it. Anything you want to add to Sasha and Naomi?
I just love them together, and I hope they win. That's all. I think they're great. I feel like all of these other teams, even though a lot of this feels very makeshift just to get them on the card, to be frank with you, there's a lot of these women that deserve some kind of shot. So it's just like, I'm not going to be mad whether it's Liv or Rhea, whether it's Natalya and Shayna Baszler. I've been Team Baszler forever. I've been begging for them to do more with her. I just wish they would have invested into the tag teams for just a little bit longer, because they just feel so thrown together for WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah, I always say that the women's tag titles are the kiss of death. Like, once you get those, you're gonna break up. Like, there's no one survives being the tag team champions.
Look at NXT. Look at NXT. They won the tag titles. Like, can they curse them even more?
Right. Yeah. It's if you have a good friend, do not go after the tag team titles. It's not going to work out. Hojo to go Belinsky says, Jimmy, what was Jericho's title 20 years ago? Wasn't he a unified champ?
Yeah, but which two titles did he unify?
That was the it was the WCW, or were they still calling it the WCW, or was it just the world title at that point?
I believe it was again, there you go, too many ref bumps, but at the same time, it was the old WCW championship,
right,
and the WWE championship were unified.
Yeah,
as opposed to the Raw brand and SmackDown brand.
Right. Yeah, I know that's basically what it was. I can't remember if they were still calling it WCW title at that point, or if they had just become world title.
Yeah.
You don't think there's a big chance that Roman just beat this title doesn't mean anything to me and just throws it out the next night, and that's how we just move on without really unifying or pinning anyone?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think you can end this match without a...
No. He wins it. I'm saying on the Monday after WrestleMania, he says, okay, I did what I came to do, but this title isn't anything. This is the important title, and then throws the title. I mean, you could have that happen.
If it was the old WCW championship, I could see it going into the trash bin, but I can't see them putting one of their own original titles in there.
It would kind of also put the... like, who would want to fight for that title? You mean like they would keep it, or they would just say...
Yeah, they will keep it on Raw and do some kind of tournament or something, because Roman doesn't want it.
Would you want to fight for a title that got chucked?
From Roman Reigns? Yes, I volunteer.
Fair. Jimmy, I want to talk to you about this next segment where we get a Stone Cold hype video with Ba with a Ba playing in the background, and Kevin Owens is out there, and he says, look, he's not Stone Cold anymore. He's just Steve, which, by the way, it just hit really good. Like, for some reason, I was like, what? He's not just Steve? Come on. But then this was the part that hit me the most, and I want to get your thoughts on it. He says his stunner is better than Steve Austin's.
Yeah, that was like a real, oh my goodness, I can't believe he said that kind of thing. And you know what? You talk about Roman Reigns promo being awesome. Kevin Owens was just on absolute fire again tonight. And he's, his stuff, I don't want to say he's going underrated. It's just because we're seeing so many good promos right now. His just was amazing, and it's making me want to see this more. And the fact that they're talking about whose stunner is better, stuff like that, and that they're on Saturday night, I don't know what kind of shape Steve Austin is in. Could this lead to a possible matchup continuing on Sunday? That's what I'm curious about.
I would love to see it. If he's able to, I want to see a match out of him, but of course that's up to him. But Issa, I love Kevin Owens, and I agree with Jimmy. I think he's kind of underrated in that promo department. But does he have a better stunner than Stone Cold?
No. But the promo was incredible. I think my tweet to this promo was Kevin Owens for president. I mean, whatever he was saying, I was eating it up till the stunner part. That's when I was like, oh, don't say that. But like I said, I mentioned it earlier with Seth Rollins. He's built this feud. Stone Cold is not showing up. So why not go out there and say every crazy statement you want to say? He already did it last week, showing up as Stone Cold. How do you outdo that? What he did tonight. I thought Kevin Owens did an incredible job tonight. Definitely. I'm very, very hyped for it. Whether it's a match, a brawl, whatever it is, I'm excited. And that has been all Kevin Owens. While we know we're going to get Stone Cold, and that's exciting, and we got the little video package, like, Kevin Owens said, Kevin Owens has really made this matter.
Yeah, this was the Kevin Owens thing and being underrated, because he's obviously great on the microphone, but not only is he doing it, as we talked about earlier, against no one right now by himself, but I always say what makes him incredible is he always is good on the microphone, and his win-loss record isn't that great, which means it's hard. It's one thing to be great on the microphone when you win every week. If you're like undefeated for, Roman Reigns is great. I'm not taking anything away, but when you've been undefeated for a year, it's easy to go out there. No, I don't want to say easy, but you know what I mean? It's easier to say, yeah, I'm great, I'm the best, and people will listen. But when you don't win as often as he does, and you're someone like Kevin Owens, to still be entertained on the microphone, that is saying something.
Yeah, and it's also making people think, like you said, that's one of the things when guys go out there and cut a promo and they say, well, I'm going to beat you and blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, when was the last time you beat somebody? With Kevin Owens, they don't think like that.
No,
nobody thinks about his win-loss record. They just think about, oh my goodness, this guy's insulting Steve and he's doing it really good. But, like I said, getting people invested in this moment that's going to happen at WrestleMania. And trust me, this is going to be a moment that people are going to remember.
Oh, when the glass breaks, I'm going to lose my mind. I don't even care. Now, this isn't...
Wait, one thing that caught me off guard and made Kevin Owens a heel with me was a Canadian saying that he hates beer.
Yeah, how dare he? What's next? Maple syrup?
Exactly.
But yeah, now this isn't a match so far. So I'll just say, who ends up as the last one standing here? Because they're not going to shake hands and part ways as friends. Jimmy, who do you think gets the last laugh? Who hits the stunner and holds their hands up in victory?
Well, I look at it this way. Can you imagine, because it isn't a match, for Steve to stun KO, it's not a big deal, and you'll blow the roof off the place. And that's what you want. And you talk about moments, kind of like last night at the Academy Awards, we had great big song and dance numbers and all these big elaborate things. But why are people talking about it today? The one moment. And that's going to be, that stunner could be the moment that people remember.
Yeah. Issa, you agree? I mean, I feel like it's a slam dunk, but I got to ask.
Yeah. Stone Cold's going to stand tall at the end of this. We all know it, but it's still going to be awesome.
King Rail in the chat asks, do you think Roman is going back to Raw on the next draft?
No, I think he stays on SmackDown. But here's the funny thing. I found it interesting that on USA Network tonight that he mentioned that Fox wanted him. And that kind of caught me off guard. I was like, whoa.
Well, his exact words were Fox. Which was chef kiss.
Yeah, he had to save him. I think if he's if he unifies the championships, he could just be on both shows. Why not? Why not? I say.
Exactly.
So then we go through, and this caught me off guard. This was weird to me, Jimmy, and I don't know. I didn't get it, and maybe you've been there. Maybe you'll be able to help me out and get what happened here. But Ricochet, the Intercontinental Champion, has a match with Austin Theory and loses pretty clean, pretty fast.
Quickly, yes.
This shocked me. Do you think, I know we're not there, so it's all speculation, but do you think that like they got cut for time? Do you think something happened here? Because I'll be honest, Ricochet did not come off looking like a champion. Not
at all. This absolutely took Ricochet a few steps back. Absolutely. It's one thing to have a non-title match and have the champion lose, which I'm not a big fan of anyways. But at the same time, here's a heel beating him in non-heel fashion. At least if he'd have cheated his way to a victory, I could kind of accept it. But it just did nothing for either guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if there's like a little shenanigans, a low blow, something, you'd go, okay. But
nothing.
nothing. Issa, this is, I mean, if you count both the Los Lotharios on Friday, this is 3 losses in a row in 1 week for Ricochet, and he's not going to be on WrestleMania. A tough week for a guy who's the champion.
Absolutely horrible, the booking of Ricochet as an Intercontinental Champion. I've been so disappointed. I was so happy to see him and Finn Balor win these titles. Assume that they will have some kind of big WrestleMania plans for these 2 guys who obviously have earned a spot at WrestleMania. I don't know what's worse, to book what you did to Ricochet, or to just not even have you in the show like they did with Finn Balor, who was just nowhere to be seen. Oh, I forgot he's on a Battle Royal on Friday. You have 2 nights. It just feels like more like, why not do a ladder match for this Intercontinental Championship, like the classic ladder matches they used to do? And I'm very, it's rough week for Ricochet. I hated this, and this did nothing to help Austin Theory and the Pat feud. That feud has been well built. We didn't need this segment, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, especially for how short it was. You could have just extended something, I would think, but here we are. Maybe the thought process is he gets a strong win on Friday and he's off to the races and everyone forgets, but hopefully he gets the strong win. Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee. Issa, who do you got in that one?
Pat.
That would be Pat's first win, by the way.
I like him. I think he's great. I love the promo he cut a couple of weeks back on SmackDown. I think he's doing a great job. I mean, we'll see, because it's not wrestler, right? So you will want to put over Austin Theory, but I'm rooting for Pat here.
Yeah, Jimmy, I always say, now things obviously worked out for Pat McAfee, but I believe that if in another life, Pat McAfee would have been one of the biggest stars in pro wrestling.
No, he absolutely gets it, for lack of a better term. The only issue I have is, yes, I would love to pick Pat McAfee for this, but at the same time, I think, having someone who's really technically a broadcaster, unless some shenanigans happen and he wins via nefarious means and bamboozles Austin Theory somehow, I think Austin Theory should win this match. But this is the case, again, just like tonight, he should have won it cheating in some form or fashion. He needs to cheat to beat Pat McAfee to make himself a heel and make it mean something.
So I'm hoping Theory wins, because it's going to be a tough road out of that if he loses, but we will see. Bianca Belair comes out, and she's cutting a promo before Becky Lynch tries to attack her, but Bianca gets one up on her. They're about to cut the hair, but then Bianca gets the scissors and starts chopping off the locks of Becky Lynch. Jimmy, the thing that caught me off guard about this is the crowd was actually chanting, "You deserve it," when her hair was getting cut. We can't be looking at a hair versus hair match, can we?
Maybe that is added to it, but at the same time, I find it odd that, back in the day, the baby faces would take the high road. Like, maybe have the scissors in the hand and have the hair, holding up the hair and the scissors and going, should I cut it? Should I? You know what? I'm going to take the high road because I'm a better person than you. I would never do that. You know what I mean? But, times have changed. It's 2022. It's like, okay, if you're the baby face, she tried to cut your hair, choppers off. I don't know. Things have changed.
Yeah, you make a good point there. But Issa, they can't cut Bianca Belair's hair, can they? I feel like that would just be the worst.
They better not. As soon as she pulled out those scissors, I was so upset. And he turned around and they ended up. But I almost wish they would have not even teased it, to be honest with you. But I mean, it did cause the shock of. I can't. I was tweeting about it. I'm like, my hair is everything. That those kind of segments give me anxiety. But I did get a little bit of satisfaction out of Bianca getting, Becky back and cutting her hair. I feel like this match could go either way right now. And I when it was booked, I personally thought, okay, Bianca's gonna get her revenge. But now seeing Bianca stand tall today, based on what we know in professional wrestling, kind of worries me about her future at WrestleMania.
It's very, and Jimmy, am I looking too far into this, or is it one of those things you can't tease something like this and then not have it pay off in some way, right? Like someone's got to get their hair chopped.
Yeah, obviously the title is on the line as well, but you run an angle like that and then you leave it. You can't just leave it there,
right?
You have to move forward with it. You have to capitalize on that angle, and people, were Can you imagine if they ended up where Becky does win and they have to chop off that long ponytail? My goodness.
Oh, I'd be so unhappy.
Oh,
I'd be so unhappy. That's such a cool thing for her to have.
It makes her different. It makes her stand out. Aside from the fact that she's extremely athletic and does some amazing things.
Correct.
Still.
Very talented, but even the hair whip, she doesn't use it as often now. So when she does pulls it out, it just feels so effective because she's not using it all the time. NXT, she used it a little bit more often. Now when we see it, she means business. I don't want Bianca to lose the ponytail.
Yeah. Anthony Y in the chat says Pat McAfee is stupendous.
Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed. Someone else who may not be as stupendous, but is still doing good work. We got Happy Corbin and his buddy Madcap Moss. They're going to have a 2-on-1 match against Drew McIntyre. Corbin says that he's going to show Madcap how to do things before abandoning Madcap, and Madcap takes the loss. But Happy Corbin steals the sword. Did this not happen like 6 months ago? I feel like we saw this exact thing happen already.
Yeah, we've seen it. This is one match that I just cannot get invested into. I mean, they were the ones who took him out, and then he came back at the Royal Rumble. Remember, like this has been going on for so long that it's lost my interest. Probably by the time that I saw Drew come back at the Rumble, like, okay, he's okay. He can move on from that. But no, here we still are. There's a couple of matches on WrestleMania that I wish I was more excited about. This is one of them. I will say, and I will stick by this forever, the End of Days is an amazing looking finisher. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think Baron Corbin's great. It's just to Issa's point, and Jimmy, I want you to chat on this, is I feel like I've seen this so many times already.
Yeah, absolutely. It almost makes me feel like, what are we going to get now? I guess Angela on a pole match. You know what I mean? It just
right.
I hope he throws that sword in the river tonight and we never see it again.
Oh, if it goes in that river in Pittsburgh, it will never be seen again.
I don't know if there's much to take from this little bit. But Jimmy, what's your prediction for WrestleMania? I feel like Drew McIntyre is going to win and we're just going to move on.
Yeah. I feel the same way. And I'm like Issa here. I wish I was more excited about this match than I am, but I see Drew coming out ahead.
Yep. Issa, any predictions?
Yes, same. Props to them for highlighting the fact that Corbin has been undefeated since becoming rich again. But I have a feeling that ends this weekend.
So we get Edge is in an office, much like Vince McMahon, and he's talking about how he needed to remind AJ of who he was and all this stuff while wearing a suit. Issa, Edge is sounding a lot like Seth Rollins sounded when he was talking to Edge previously.
Yes, he does. But this is a match that I am the complete opposite of what we just discussed. I cannot wait. And props to both of them because they do such an awesome job of building it. You could have just announced this match, never have them interact, and I would have been just as hyped. But these two guys have been doing an incredible job. I cannot wait to see them just square off in the ring at WrestleMania. This is a dream match since Edge came back at the Rumble and they had that quick moment in the ring. I've been waiting for it. So excited. But yeah, Edge has been a little, he's losing it.
Jimmy, to Issa's point, I agree completely. They could have just announced this, and I was already on board once it was announced. I think they didn't do anything wrong here, and you need to remind us, obviously, that this match is happening. Probably not the biggest takeaway moment of the night, but
no, I thought Edge's promo was decent, and even AJ's follow-up promo I thought was very good as well. And like both of you, this probably is the match I'm inside most looking forward to. Two generational superstars meeting for the first time ever at WrestleMania. Other than that, this could be this WrestleMania Steamboat Savage. For lack of a better comparison, everybody came to see Hogan and Andre, but Steamboat and Savage stole the show, and that's what I kind of anticipate happening here.
I like that comparison, and I agree. I think it could absolutely be something that we all walk away from going, you know what, that main event was good, but that match with nothing on the line but pride really stole the show. Another match that had nothing on the line but pride was RK Bro versus the Usos in our.
No, wait, Jack. We didn't do predictions. I really want to know who you guys are rooting for. I need to know.
I like how this has changed from prediction to who we're rooting for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm going to assume. So I think I want AJ to win. I'm a huge AJ fan. He's one of my all-time favorites. So I just want him to win. I'm going to guess Jimmy is going with Edge because he's Canadian.
Hey, he's the hometown guy. What can I do? Let's put it this way. If we're talking who we're cheering for, I'm talking for my fellow Canadian good friend. He also wrote the foreword for my book. How could I not cheer for him? But at the same time, I kind of see AJ coming out ahead in this one, getting his retribution for the 2 concertos.
As people on Twitter like to say, you're on the payroll, Jimmy. Clearly,
of course,
you're on the Edge payroll. Now, I think Issa, I'm going to guess you're going with AJ Styles because you just talked about how important hair is to you, and no one's got a better hair game than AJ Styles.
No, you're absolutely right. I tweeted it tonight. I was very torn, so I sat down and I said, "Who has the better hair here?" And it's AJ Styles. So I'm rooting for AJ Styles just based on hair.
Yeah. I'm a big AJ. AJ's got that farmer strength, so I got to go with him.
They don't want none.
They don't want none. But of course, on this day, Edge sees clearly. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't see clearly anymore. He changed the lines. Never mind. but RK Bro versus the Usos, the 2 tag team champions go at it. This felt very Survivor Series to me. I'm told that this only happens at Survivor Series. Yet here we are. These 2 go at it. It all breaks down when the Street Profits get involved and attack Randy Orton. And Issa, this is the thing I'm taking away from all this is that the Street Profits are getting, I believe, as Corey Graves said, a heightened sense of aggression lately.
I mean, they have to deal with the teams that they're dealing with here. I think Alpha Academy is not joking around anymore. And in addition to that, you have RK Bro, best friends forever. So obviously they have to get a little bit more aggressive. And yes, I agree with you. This was definitely Survivor Series. That match saved Survivor Series for me, to be honest. I went live, and if it would have not been for that match, it would have been one of the most disappointing events I've been to. So I was happy to see it again. Run it again.
run it back. Yes. So Jimmy, something that not caught me off guard, but was different here too is RK Bro was a little more vicious, hitting a couple of RKOs they didn't necessarily need to hit at the end, and kind of giving a little bit of retribution to Street Profits for coming in on him.
Yeah, and like you said, the Street Profits showing a little more aggression, trying to show a different layer, which is what I like because, they're a fun team to watch and they're having a good time. Seeing this different side to them is nice. It adds layers. And seeing RK Bro getting their retribution back after them jumping them, I think it made sense.
Yeah,
so,
Randy.
Yeah. Randy, here's another guy that you're talking about. We talking about Brock having fun. Randy is having a blast teaming with Riddle and going through this whole storyline that they're going through right now. So, and you can tell that he's enjoying it, and it's drawing me in as well.
Yeah, and Randy Orton's this RK Bro. I love the fact that we keep thinking they're going to break up, but I love that they're not because I want them to stay together. I want them to stay friends.
Yes.
But, oh no, it's Justin. I don't know why I said oh no, I meant more like surprise. They're like the Street Profits running in on our tag team match.
He showed up at the main event, at the end of the main event, Justin LaVar.
Is this the guy that is going to be taking on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? It's Justin LaVar. Just
we can't hear us. What happened?
Oh no. So he got out of here because he knows I'm breaking the news story that it's going to be Justin LaVar versus Seth Rollins. That's the big surprise.
You don't want to talk about it. He don't want to talk about it.
You ruined the surprise.
He's supposed to be a surprise. Well, he pointed at the WrestleMania signs. That's the only thing I can attribute it to. Of course, we're getting he was at the show today.
He's gonna face Veer. He's gonna face Veer the Raw after Mania.
So hopefully he can pop in here in a second. But while we're waiting for that, we've got 2 matches to predict. First off, Shinsuke and Boogs versus Usos.
The Usos.
Jimmy, I got Usos also. I feel like it's going to be all bloodline at WrestleMania.
I agree. I was thinking all bloodline at WrestleMania because if they don't come out holding the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, I think the head of the table will have issues with that.
And I think Boogs is going to turn on Shinsuke. That's my sneaky prediction.
Hit him with the guitar.
He cut his hair. When people cut their hair, it's always the sign. Right. Or grow a beard.
Stop, guys.
Justin, are you ready to reveal that you're Seth Rollins' opponent?
All the mystery comes down to me.
Can we break that news? How was the show?
It was fun. It was energetic because it's, less than a week to Mania. But I have to say that I was there live, and then I went to wait for my Uber ride. I went to just a local joint just nearby just to wait, and I'm listening to the chatter. And I gotta say though, I don't want to, poo-poo the mood. There were a lot of people who were like, their fantasy booking went down the toilet. They were like, we didn't get Austin, we didn't get Cody, we didn't. It was a weird kind of vibe. It was.
Oh, I think at this point we all knew you weren't getting Cody and Austin at this point, right?
Well, not Austin, no, but I will say though, like the fact they did the whole Seth Rollins,
Cody and Seth should open WrestleMania, in my opinion. Like WrestleMania should open with Seth coming out, and let's just make it happen. I think that's going to be a bigger moment.
Well, and Asa, I agree, because the fact that they said, and forgive me, I haven't got to listen to you guys at all, so I'm catching up. I'm joining in the show now because but they said, like KO said, main event with he and Austin, the KO show. So if that is ending, then yeah, I mean, okay, so what's, starting Mania is as big as how you end Mania, at least for each night. So maybe that is the case. But the RK Bro Usos match happened, and I'm turning to somebody and I'm like, this could have happened in Mania. This would have been a good match for Mania. It happens, and I'm timing it on my phone. I'm like, all right, there's still one more commercial. There's still room for Cody to come out. There's still room for a video tease, and that just didn't play out. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's like that old saying: the 2 most important parts of any show are the first segment and the last segment.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do fantasy booking, and I try not to because I always disappoint myself. But what I was thinking, what they should do with Cody Rhodes is not necessarily open Mania with him night 1 or night 2 or close with him. I think they should announce it on social media. That'd be the worst idea. I just wanted to, because they do that sometimes. They'll just throw out these big things on social media, and you go, "Why didn't you say that for the show?"
Well, to that point,
Jack, stop.
Well, yeah, right. But Jack, to that point, so the video they showed tonight on Raw of Seth going to Titan Towers, they released that a couple hours earlier on social. Why? Why do that? Why? I mean, because again, honest transparency. I'm there tonight, and I'm trying to. So this is the first WWE show I've been to in over 2 years, longest drought that I've been. So I'm being a social butterfly. Anybody I know that's in the arena, I'm trying to catch up with, whatever. And we're up in the concession stand, and then I hear them playing this video, and some people in my party wanted to jolt back to the seat. I said, "Don't worry, it's 5. I can tell you exactly what happens. It's a 5-minute video that already aired on social." And like, why? Why would you not hold that at least to be a first reveal in Raw, even though nothing much happened? All that happened was Vince just says to Seth, "You have a Mania match," which we all figured was inevitable. But why? It's back to the point of social media. Why would you release that and not make that? I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of things I questioned that they did tonight. But
that's what I was asking earlier. Is there a I know we say why, but is there an actual reason? Like you have to have certain things happen on Fox to make Fox happy. You have to make certain things happen on USA. You have to have certain things happen in Saudi Arabia. Is there an actual reason that they do that and put it on social media? Like, do they need a certain number on social media in some way that maybe we don't see or think about? Because I don't know why you would give away any content that would be good for TV.
Yeah.
I don't think they need a certain quota for social media, but I think probably the way we dissect on on these podcasts and on Wrestling Inc., the way we dissect the ratings numbers and what's relevant now, I think it's probably a case of they will tell you okay, the ratings and viewership, that's one metric, but now they have to take into account, well, what's YouTube doing?
Right.
What is social media doing? And they take it, and if Raw's viewership is down what it was 5 years ago, they try to counter that with, well, we have more followers on YouTube than ever, and our social media activity is this. So that's probably why, but it still seems kind of weird when you go to a show and you get something that's supposed to be the go home storyline segment, and it's something that was, again, 3 hours ago on social. So,
right.
Yes, it's very, I don't really understand it, but whatever, they're doing fine, so they know better than I do. But that, that kind of wraps up the show. You came in right at the end. We got the surprise Seth Rollins opponent in the last minute, Justin the Barbarian. I guess before we get anything, any final thoughts? I guess, Justin, what was the arena like? Were people super pumped about the show? Were they while you were actually there? Maybe not the fantasy booking, but who got the biggest reactions and things like that?
It was a good crowd. No, the crowd was hot. Again, just to give you some Pittsburgh insight, the last show that Pittsburgh was supposed to have, WWE show, was actually going to be on March 16th of 2020. It was going to be a 3/16 day where Austin was promoted to show up. Obviously, the pandemic and the world shut down just days prior to that, so that never happened. So there was a lot of buzz just amongst the Pittsburgh crowd of, we're coming to Mania. Austin's, a lot of hopeful of, could we see Austin? They were selling Yinzer 316, Pittsburgh 316, Austin themed shirts. So there was a buzz, and the crowd was even the crowd was full in the lower bowl. The upper bowl was tarped off a little bit on the hard camera side, which isn't necessarily uncommon. There was excitement, but as the night went on, it kind of, you could feel this thing through the audience of like, okay, we got Brock to open. Roman did the second hour, so we're done there. We're not getting a confrontation there. Okay, KO came out, cut his promo. We're done with that segment. So then it did become, okay, the only thing left that we didn't, we saw Edge with his promo. It kind of became, okay, the only thing live that we haven't seen is Seth. Right. Could Seth come out, do one last, whatever promo, and could that, even if that just ends on a video hype, and we just didn't. So the crowd, I kind of felt the crowd kind of getting
Yeah. I guess, two quick questions. Did Bobby Lashley have a match? Because he was geared out, and so it looked like he was going to actually compete. But was that just the one segment he was in? Did he have a dark match?
He did not have a dark match after rolling off the air. I was actually I was en route between bathroom, beer, and seat. He did get pushed around by Omos. So whatever you saw was what you got. Once Raw went off the air, we got some more shenanigans between RK Bro, Austin Theory, and Rollins, and then Rollins and Austin Theory. That was the extent of dark match stuff. So
okay, because I saw him all geared up, and I was like, oh, maybe he has a match. But final question for you: did you acknowledge Roman Reigns?
I did, and I paid. I had one hand up acknowledging, I had the other hand up praying to Issa. I was facing her
direction.
Yeah. Man, it's powerful. It's and I was sitting where I was sitting. I had a good. It was kind of cool. I had a good crop of I had kids all different ages kind of around me, which is kind of fun because I haven't had that in a while, and reminded me that like, we get so sucked into the to analyzing this. And it reminded me like what just the look from if Roman can see their sign, or there was one girl, bless her little 10-year-old heart. She was obsessed with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. She just wanted them to look her way. It was cool, but Roman, especially Roman, man, he's on that level. He's on that Cena-esque level of just, you can't. It's hard to put into words. You can't touch it.
Yeah. He's on an all-time run right now, I think. But that does it for us. Before we do all the closing stuff out, any final thoughts? We'll go around the horn. Jimmy, any final thoughts on this week and going into WrestleMania?
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to a bunch of stuff on WrestleMania. But the thing I'm most looking forward to, as I said earlier tonight, is Edge and AJ Styles for their in-ring match, and Justin wasn't here for it. I made the comparison that although Brock and Roman may be Andre Hogan, Edge and AJ to me is Savage and Steamboat.
It's spicy. Issa, any final words for this week? Oh, I think we got a freeze. Justin, any final thoughts or first thoughts? I mean, middle thoughts. You just got.
No, I wanted to jump in. I was again thankful to Jimmy and Issa for jumping in. Raj couldn't be here. I couldn't be here, so I was just thankful and thank you to guys. And no, it was cool to be there live, but it was kind of a little bit of a go home show. It was like definitely got to tune into this Mania, but I don't know which combination of us. I think I'm here both Saturday and Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to this Mania. I really am. So many stories to look forward to. I'm looking forward to this podcast. This podcast has grown so much with the live community. So I'm looking forward to this more than I have in a long time. So
it's going to be a great WrestleMania. I'm really looking forward to it as well. It's going to be my first WrestleMania. I'm going to be in Dallas, so it'll be my first time there live. So I am really excited.
Your first one.
It's my first one. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to see the biggest WrestleMania match of all time.
Stupendous.
The stupendous WrestleMania. So I'm super pumped about it. I've said you see different opinions on social media, and I said that you can tell the people who were never into it in the first place seem to say it's not looking like a good show, but the people who like wrestling and like WWE, I think, are really into it.
Jack, are you sitting, if you don't mind me asking, are you sitting amongst the crowd, or are you in like a press area?
I actually don't know yet. I'm gonna have to know when I get there. But I fly out tomorrow. So
well, I wish you're not a drinker, right? You don't drink.
No.
Yeah. So for that point, otherwise, I wish you get to sit amongst the crowd. Don't like if you sit in the media area, you got to be media, no professionalism. If not, I hope you get out amongst the crowd, because I want you to feel that emotion.
I 100% get wrapped up into the crowd too. Like whatever they're into, I'm going to go with it. Even if it's like against who I like, I'm going to be like, whatever. I'm going to boo whoever they boo. I'm going to cheer whoever they cheer. I get really worked up at shows, so I'm going to be obnoxious.
Jimmy, which Mania was your first? Was it 4?
4 was the first one I worked. Yeah.
I know your bio so well that I rattle that off as a guess.
No, who posted a picture today? A friend of mine posted a picture from WrestleMania 4 because it was it today or yesterday? The anniversary for WrestleMania 4 at Trump Plaza, and it was a picture of myself and Joey Morella, who Gorilla used to call us the bookends, on either side of the trophy that Bad News Brown won.
Oh, nice!
Which was kind of cool.
Do you remember which match was your first match at Mania?
That was it.
That was it?
The Battle Royal for the trophy, where we didn't see Bad News Brown get eliminated, and then Bad News eliminated Brett, and Brett came in and tried to break the trophy. That was hard to break because you got time for a quick story?
Yeah. It wasn't gimmicked, was it?
No. But the day before, we did a walkthrough, walking the trophy down and passing it up into the ring. And so as I passed it up to Joey, it was top heavy and the top broke off. So the people, the construction, the stagehands there said, "No, we'll fix it for you," and stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah. So they took it in and they fixed it, but they fixed it too well because Brett was trying to break that thing. And I don't know if you remember, he was having a little bit of a hard time smashing that thing.
Oh, those are so, like, it's always funny to hear those things. And I always imagine just the stress that must be going through people's minds as the world is watching them and something's not going according to plan. Or carrying it out knowing that they fixed this thing. And like, what if it wasn't fixed very well and it just breaks it for no reason? So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to see everyone there. If I see any of you guys there, hey, Issa, you're back.
I'm back. Just Lamar broke my connection. I don't know what happened.
It was me.
Like the heel he is, he took your spot. Like Shane McMahon in the Best in the World tournament, he took your spot.
I was filling in for him tonight, so I was like, "Oh, you're in. All right, bye."
It was the hot tag. Do you have any final thoughts going into Mania this year?
I'm super excited. Everybody knows how much I love my Beastie. Everybody knows how much I love my Roman. I would be lying to you if I told you I don't get this hype for every WrestleMania. I heard you say it's your first, and I got to tell you, there's just nothing like your first one. But keep going because they never get old.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna find you. Also, I just want to make sure that people go to my social media. Nick and I are going to be hanging out at the tailgate with Mania Club for Connor's Cure. So we're gonna be there both nights. So if people that watch our shows or want to hang out with part of the Wrestling Inc. crew, that's what we're gonna be. Maybe we can lure Jack in as well. We'll see. I'm gonna DM you later. But It's gonna be a blast. So you guys can catch us there pre-gaming, a little bit of tailgating right before WrestleMania.
Nice.
Yeah, we got to hang out. We got to get a picture, and that's at NYC Demon Diva. Is it D1 VA, by the way?
Yes, because I got my account taken away. Okay, don't turn on my face like that.
Well, you can find me at Real Jack Farmer. That flows a little easier, but whatever. No, but then we also got at Jimmy Korderas. You can follow Jimmy there. You can follow at Justin LaBar. I'm sure we got after shows all week. Tomorrow on Tuesday for NXT. I'm sure we're doing something Wednesday for Dynamite. I'm sure there's got to be something going on Thursday. I'm sure there's the pop culture. Also, I'm sure it's recorded. The Chair Shot Reality reunion show is still up with Justin LaBar.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
SmackDown after show, all sorts of stuff. Just keep tuned into Wrestling Inc. Any final words before I hit this end broadcast button?
I want to ask Issa because I didn't get to talk to her.
Yeah.
Issa, because I know that you're like, I know the lady wood is like swaying.
Oh, it was so erect tonight.
So, it's erect and straight up. But you got to go one way or the other.
I picked Roman earlier.
You picked Roman.
It was the red, Justin LaBar. He showed up dressed in all red, and I was like, all right, that's it. I picked the side.
Right now, Brock Lesnar's driving home in his forklift, listening to the show with a single tear running down his...
Beastie, I am still the first lady of Suplex City. It's just Sunday night for a brief moment. I'm just going to switch sides for a little bit, okay? I just need them to not feel, then I don't have to pick a side,
He's like, first Paul Heyman leaves me. Then he's like, now Demon Diva. All he has left is the title, and you want him to lose that too.
He's driving an hour plus from the Dakotas into Canada. Just cowboy hat on, window down.
It's still making me feel guilty.
Breeze in his face. He's like,
wait till you see my outfit for Sunday night, because it's so 50-50. You're gonna love it.
What the hell does that mean?
It's got some Brock. It's got some Roman.
Oh,
I'm sitting here dissecting your ladywood and trying to figure out which way you're swaying, and now you're saying your outfit is 50-50.
I have to rep them both. I'm rooting for Roman, but I'm gonna rep them both. Wait till you see it.
You have both on so you can flip flop halfway through if it doesn't go your way.
I'm gonna wear the Brock button up so that I can take it off.
You're a freak.
You're not gonna get kicked off Twitter again, are you?
Uh-oh.
No, that was for posting a DMX song. I posted worst thing on Twitter, and that's what they kicked me out for. Come on.
At NYC Demon D2 VA just isn't going to have the same ring.
I know.
But I think that does it for us. We've gone an hour and a half. I think that does it for us. Make sure to follow all of us on social media. It's at NYC Demon Diva, at Jimmy Korderas, at Justin LaBar, at Real Jack Farmer. Follow us. If you're in Dallas and you see me, come say hello. I want to get pictures with you, and we'll post them all over our social media. That's just how you do it these days. That does it for us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.